Yeah, man. So I'm ready when you ready. You ready?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going through submissions, I guess 2 or 3 days ago. And it's about 130, 140 in there left. I like to not look at my phone. I'm listening to submissions because I don't want any kind of bias from the video. You know what I mean? I don't want any kind of bias from the name. I don't want any kind of bias from anything visual because it's all about sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing it, and I'm like, yo, this straight sound like woo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my dad was downstairs at the time, so I come downstairs and I'm like, yo, I'm about to play this track for you. Who's it sound like? We 10 seconds into it. He's like, oh, Wu-Tang. I look at my phone and I'm like, all right, this makes perfect sense. It's second generation Wu. So I try to stay away from biographical questions because that shit gets so boring with people.
Nah, you can ask me whatever, brother.
That shit gets so boring with people, yo. But when you're the heir to hip hop royalty, I gotta get a little biographical with
Yeah.
you. So when all y'all come together on a track, I think it was Ghost Son was on it, Method Man Son was on it too, right?
We here now. It's just me and Meth Son.
Just you and Meth Son. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. When y'all hop on a track together, man, tell me, is there a certain level of, damn, we gotta kill everything we do because of the history behind us, or is it kind of just free? Like what's the thought process when y'all go into a track?
It's definitely we gotta kill everything that we touch, but not because of what the foundation is, but because we believe in ourselves and we want to always deliver the best from ourselves and our sound. And the foundation just allows us to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's always like, yeah, like, oh, that was fire, but watch what I'm coming with. You know what I'm saying? But we not in there thinking like, oh, we gotta outdo this, or we gotta come like this. We just being ourselves, and because the foundation is there, that's why when people just organically listen, they're gonna hear that.
Right. So when you guys are writing, is it a joint situation, or you guys just kind of going, I'm gonna write my bars, you write your bars, and we're gonna come together on one piece? Like, what's the creative process typically like?
It's really random, you know what I'm saying? Depending
Yeah.
on the song, like each song, I'd have to break it down to you. But we thankfully having I did a joint venture with Dock Street Records over here in Staten Island, and that allowed us to have a home base for everybody to come together to form and have those sessions where we all listening to the beat and writing and stuff like that. But now that we all scattered, sometimes it's through email, but the album, you know what I'm saying, we got a lot of joints that we was able to collectively come together and write in unison.
You talking about that's the Hereditary joint, right?
Yeah.
What was the album process?
Well,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, nah, go ahead.
What influence, not influence, let me step back, because that's another question I have later. How much of a hand do y'all fathers play in the album process, or just the musical process in general?
Well, I can only speak for myself,
Yeah.
because I would say my father, the last 2 years, he's become a listener
Mm-hmm.
and giving me feedback. But most of my grind process years, he was like, do something else. Do something else.
Okay.
Be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a doctor, be a lawyer.
Right.
Until he saw like, all right, you know what I'm saying? This nigga 30 years old, still rapping, still making music and movies and all that. He's gonna be an entertainer, so let me embrace it.
Yeah.
But I would imagine for the other members, I mean the other second generation Wu,
Yeah.
they have good relationships with their fathers, so they
Mm-hmm.
probably was like, yo, like listen to this, listen to that. But in terms of the Hereditary album, that was all us. Ain't nobody like listen to that and give us too many pointers of feedback, except for maybe Deck, when we was working on Golden Meat Hooks. I played him a couple of joints and he was like, all right, yeah, y'all in the right direction.
Right. How much? Because obviously on the We Here Now joint, there's an obvious RZA production influence on it, right? The flows are kind of something you would hear on Wu-Tang Forever, the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
when you guys are going into the studio, how often are y'all like, all right, we can pull something from our peoples, or nah, let's create a whole new sound? Like,
Well, with the We Here Now record, funny story behind that. Shout out to DLP, the producer. That record was almost. Have you heard 7OD?
not
So
yet.
7OD is the record we released. Our first single is Second Generation Wu in November of 2019. That was the record that let the world know, okay, oh wow, the Wu-Tang got kids and they nice. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Um, that We Here Now was almost that record. It
Hmm.
was almost the first record to let us, let the world know like we here now,
Yeah.
and we exist, because it was supposed to be me, Meth Son, and Supreme, which is Ghostface son. That would have been the first time 3 Wu kids is on the record, to my knowledge, and I was gonna push it and promote it hard,
Yeah.
but Supreme ended up not getting on it, and it was just me and Power, so the record just ended up getting buried while we was working on it, and then when we was working on the album, because we got a distribution deal with Tommy Boy just for singles at first. And so I was like, all right, well, we'll deliver singles while we're working on the album.
Hmm.
Then the album that we originally worked on ended up becoming all the singles we put out. So we had to go back in and recook. But what We Hear Now, that was like, it was organic. We was just in the studio listening to the beat and was like, yo, this is fire. And the hook, we did that last, I was like, I couldn't really think of anything. So I'm like, yo, we here now. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Oh, we
Right.
this is the message. It's supposed to be like the symbol, like the message, but
Yeah.
it ended up not working out at that time. But
Hmm.
now all the, everything we the foundation we built, I'm like, oh, this is the perfect record to end the year off with.
Right. Right.
Like,
Right.
yeah, we here now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Uh, 2 years ago, man, I had the pleasure of opening up for Meth and Red in Baltimore,
Dope,
and
dope.
we were on stage with them doing their set. And when I say that the stage was rocking, the actual stage was literally rocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was physically
Mm-hmm.
moving up and down, yo. Uh, and so with that thought in mind, my next question for you is: we just talked a lot about studio stuff, the album, cool, dope. Do y'all plan, obviously, once the world gets right, do y'all plan on kind of going on tour together and really rocking live, or is this kind of like all studio project stuff?
If the opportunity presents itself and the finances is right, you will see all of us on stage together.
Or would you consider yourself much of a performer? Like, how do you view yourself? Because I mean,
Absolutely.
right, because I'm sure you've seen Jizza perform live a million times versus
Mm-hmm.
Beth performing live, and it's a, you and
Yeah.
both times, but it's a major difference.
I move around. Trust me. I'll send you a link. We actually got a chance to perform. We got a show booked. Like, things was moving before the pandemic hit. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to go to Barcelona.
Yeah,
Like, things was really moving. And then that day that we were supposed to fly out was the day the president shut the airports down. So
right.
that kind of just like, took the steam out of what we was doing in terms of performing and getting booked. But yeah, we had a show in January in Harrisburg, PA. Shout out to them, and that was actually our first show together as Second Generation Wu. So it was dope. You know what I'm saying? We learned a lot. But yeah, you'll see. I move around. I'm a performer.
Harrisburg has a little music scene that's low key.
Yeah, they came out to show love. Shout out to them.
Yeah, yeah. For the Hereditary album, did you guys go for a? I haven't listened to the whole project yet. But I will this week. Are you guys going for more of a? Was there a concept here, or was it just
Yeah,
put together great songs?
both. The concept came later because
Yeah.
after I put the album together, the track list, and I was like, yo, I don't, what am I gonna call this? You know what I'm saying? And I was gonna call it We Here Now, but I'm like, I don't know about that. And then I thought the theme of like, genetics and all of that, because of, like you're saying, people are gonna ask us about our lineage, people are gonna ask us about our fathers,
Right.
and we are pieces of them, and down to the you know what I'm saying, to the atomic level and the DNA level. So that just started popping in my head. I'm like, you know, especially with being an artist, like I feel like being an artist is genetic. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a great artist and you
Yeah.
have kids, it's within your kids to be great artists if they follow that road, if you cultivate it. And
Hmm.
even if you don't cultivate it, because my father didn't cultivate me as an artist at all. And I'm one of the greatest artists this planet has ever fucking seen and will ever see. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's just in you. So that popped into my head, and I was like, yo, yeah, Hereditary, because this shit is hereditary. Like this rap shit, this hip hop shit, this music shit, this art shit, it's hereditary.
How much time do you spend? Because you just said it's inside of you, so it's inherited and it's intrinsic. You know, from what you just said. But even then, how much time do you spend studying and purposely cultivating your art, listening to music, watching performances, learning about whatever your craft? How much time do you spend actually studying your craft?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I feel like hip hop is a lifestyle, so
Okay.
I would have to say all the time. It's
Okay.
not something I go like, all right, now it's time to put in work. It's like I mean, right now at this age, at 29, with everything I've accomplished and everything I'm working on right now for this year, I'm really just absorbed into myself. So I'm not really checking in too much like I used to. Like I know Cardi B dropped a record. I want to listen to that. I like Jid. Jid got some music out. But like I'm not plugged in like I used to be. So it's really just me being focusing on what I'm doing. But before, constantly, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm always like, oh, my favorite artist. I'm always checking on them and seeing what they got coming out. And then maybe some of the artists that I don't normally listen to, I would check in on that music to see what the teens are listening to, what's the sound right now. When I'm in the car, sometimes I let the radio just play just to see what the radio vibe is like. As far as performances, I've been to enough shows before I stepped on the stage, and then my own years of being on the stage
Yeah.
to where I know how to perform down pat. But I could always learn more. So like when I go out with Meth or when I go out with anybody, I always watch and pay attention. Um, and then writing is just like when I'm writing, I'm like, how can I do something how can I say this in a way I haven't said it before? What words can I use that I haven't used before? What
Yeah.
flow can I use that I've never used before? So I'm always trying to push the envelope and be different. But it's a lifestyle, so I don't really set aside time. I'm kind of like always in mode.
In a way, I've always chalked up just a little bit, just a small amount of Biggie's lyrical finesse to the fact that his mom was an English teacher, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the experiences and some of the words that he might have felt growing up. Do you feel that to be a great hip hop artist, you need to be versed in some form of literature or some form of artistic experience? Because when you said that you were stuck in your own bubble, your own circle, your own absorbed in yourself right now, I thought to myself, okay, what does that do to um his creative process? Like, since you're kind of secluded, like how do you
Mm-hmm.
create new experiences, you know what I mean, to kind of feel off of and work off of?
Because you're secluded, I feel like that's the best way to find something new. Because if you're tapped into what everyone is doing, that's what's going to influence you. Is what everyone is doing, and
Right.
not what everyone is not doing. To find out what everyone is not doing, you got to stop listening sometimes, in my opinion. Because
Hmm.
sometimes you could be fully tapped in and go, okay, they doing all of that, but they not doing this, so let me do that. You know what I'm saying? It's another way to do it. It's multiple ways to get to the same goal.
Right.
Um, I also think it's just like an age thing for me because I'm finally feeling my age where I'm like, yo, this new music or the music that is for the youth or the people younger than me because I'm still young.
Hmm.
Uh, it don't resonate with me. Like I
Right.
need lyricism. I'm from that era. I need you to say something in a way that's fire, but I also need to have a message. Because some of these newer artists that I don't particularly like their content,
Hmm.
sometimes they saying it in a way that's fire to me. It don't matter what they like. The Migos, I don't care what they saying. The way they say it is fire. Especially Offset, his flows are ridiculous. Okay. Who else? Who else? Young Thug. He don't. I don't. I sometimes I barely understand what he's saying,
But
but
it's
his flows is ridiculous. So I gotta pay. I gotta give respect where it's due. But yeah, I don't. It don't make me want to go listen to it over and over and over again. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like a Griselda tape. because they tapes is like, yo, first of all, the production, even if I ain't like what they were saying, the production is so beautiful, it pulls you in. Then once you in, you stay for the rhymes because they really talking about real shit that they really did, and they saying it in a way that's fire.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what resonates with me. If I'm a tap in, I've been tapped in pretty much to the Griselda stuff, and that's letting me know like, wow, like I might be turning into a what the youth call an old head. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I fuck with Lil Uzi Vert. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pink Diamond Pokemon Head Boy. Like you know what I'm saying? So I still feel youthful at times. But what it does to my creative process being secluded at this point, I feel like it's sharpening it like a blade because I'm like, people just, they've been telling me, they've been giving me advice over the years, be more authentic, be more real, tell more story. Like, and so I'm just taking all that advice over the years and doing that while being secluded in myself to find the new sound.
Yeah. It's funny. You made the secluded not sound so secluded.
It's
Um,
yeah. I mean, I let people in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, well, also like a God. All praise to the Most High. I was able to collaborate with R. the Rugged Man, and being just first of all, just knowing him hearing him, having conversations with him while I'm in my secluded music period leveled me up. Then being on a track with him leveled me up. So it's like I'm working. I don't mean secluded like like really just
yeah, yeah,
darkness
yeah,
by
yeah.
myself. I just mean like I'm not tapped in to the mainstream anymore right now. I'm
Right.
just really like focused on these projects I'm working on, these singles I'm working on, building my label. I got distribution with my label, and now I can bring artists in and distribute their music. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to make a movie. I'm a filmmaker first and foremost. Before
Okay.
I started doing hip hop, that's what I went to school for. I got my degree in film,
Good
so
to
I'm
go.
trying to make another movie. Because I have an arsenal, I have a team of filmmakers. I'm looking left and right. Everybody like, yo, let's make a movie. I'm like, yo, we like 20 deep right now. Like we could make a movie, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? That's all you need is a crew, a good solid crew. But yeah. So I'm excited for what the rest of the year has in store.
Where'd you attend school?
I went to Long Island University. Shout out to CW Post and shout out to Phi Sigma Phi National Fraternity Incorporated. Phoenix, baby.
Just a few more questions here. So as far as the movie thing goes, when you do have multiple, let's use the corny word talents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lessons,
Mm-hmm.
you do have,
Hats.
yeah, 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 yeah. Do you feel one of them start to surpass the other, and then you kind of have to like bring it back? Like for example, you doing the music thing heavy right now. We dropping albums with Second Generation Woo, but you're saying at heart, I'm a filmmaker. And I know a lot of artists can have multiple attributes, and one just kind of seems to separate from the others, man. Like, do you ever have to kind of draw back in and go back to your main passion or your other passions?
There's a very famous quote about this.
Uh,
Uh, Man of many talents, master of none.
right.
I definitely feel like, okay, I was ready. I was doing the movie thing heavy, and because the music thing wasn't, I kind of go with the flow. Like I put my energy into everything as much as I can. But if
Mm-hmm.
one thing is paying off, especially now I got children, I got to make sure that whatever I'm doing is producing. So the music thing wasn't producing, so I started to go heavy with the movie thing, and I ended up getting a role in or the Hulu series Wu Tang American Saga, and I got an agent, and I was doing auditions, so the movie thing was doing well. Then that started to dip. And then
So,
I was like, let me push harder into the music thing. Then the
mm-hmm.
music thing started to pay off. So now the music thing is really paying my bills. So that's where my focus is.
Got you. How was it being in the show, man? Depicting depicting everybody.
Yo, man, that shit was surreal. I don't, not too many people have asked me about this, so I'm glad I get to talk about it. But so I started out as a production assistant in the wardrobe department.
Right.
People gonna see me on the show. They gonna be like, "Oh, it's you guys' son. Of course, he just got on the show." Like,
Yeah.
nah, this is a real deal story. For those of you that believe it, I had just recently, so wife pregnant, baby on the way,
Mm-hmm.
just got fired, I was like, yo, I need a job.
Right.
And I was like, yo, Meth, like, like you got any openings, anything, you know what I'm saying? I'll sweep the floor, whatever. He was
Yeah.
like, all right, so they about to start the show. Let's go see if you could be a PA,
Mm-hmm.
production assistant, which is like the in the mail room, the lowest level. And I was like, fine, like I don't care, like I'll do whatever. So he just pulls up on me one day. He's like, all right, get in. I didn't know where we was going though, so I'm in sweatpants, hoodie.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to the gym. We get to the spot. He's like, all right, this is the production office. I'm like, what? He brings me in the thing. He's like, yo, this is my nephew, and then leaves. I'm talking to the heads of the whole shit, the heads of the whole
Right.
production.
Right.
They like, all right, so why should we hire you? I'm just like, oh, okay, this is a real interview. This ain't no suit and tie bullshit. So I
Yeah.
sat down and I basically was like, all right, well, I went to film school. I shot these 2 films. I've done production assistant work, directing work, editing work. Like I could, fill any slot.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to get in the door right now and show y'all how I'm a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I bet. So I needed a job ASAP. I should have waited a little bit. I would have ended up in the camera department, but
Mm-hmm.
I needed a job ASAP. So they put me in the wardrobe department.
All right.
Oh my God. I was the only man, all women, right? Now, so it was the first time I worked in a situation with all black people. So I was like, oh, this is about to be fire. Nope. Because it was all women, they treated me like, oh, pick this up, do this, like a gorilla. You know what I'm saying? Like they did. I was like, all right, cool. I'm just a gorilla. They was all ha ha and kikiing and
Mm-hmm.
all that and leaving me on the outskirts and shit and making me feel like an outsider. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. It is what it is. I'm just here to make bread. And then RZA came through the wardrobe. I was cool with the head of the wardrobe, the costume designer though, Marcy. Like
Okay.
she was everyone's boss. I was cool with her. So while y'all being low level employees, haha, and kikiing with each other, I'm talking to the boss, making sure I got her email, her phone number, so I could climb the ladder. Fuck y'all.
Right.
And then one day, RZA came through the spot to look at the shit and talk to Marcy. And
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Marcy. And RZA, this is probably the third time I'd seen RZA in my entire life as
Yeah.
an adult. Because people think like, oh, we chill on Christmas. Was like, nah, this is the third time I'd seen RZA in my entire life as an adult.
Right.
But he knew who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows who I am. So I'm like, yo, and this was in April. I don't know what this was 18,
Right.
but before Father's Day. That
Mm-hmm.
Father's Day, they were supposed to play at Coney Island, the Woo.
Okay.
So I said, yo, RZA, wouldn't it be dope? Father's Day, you bring out second generation Woo. This
Yeah.
is before we was called that.
Mm-hmm.
For Father's Day, we just do one song. Like, come on, it'll be dope. It'd be a moment, be a hip hop moment.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, that'd be cool, God, bong bong. But they doing auditions for the show. You might want to do that. Here's the email. So I said, that sounds like a lot. That sounds better. So let me do. I
Yeah.
mean, I was still trying for both.
Right.
But
Right.
I told the rest of the guys like, yo, here, you want to get an audition, email these emails.
Right.
And I don't know if they did or didn't, but I ended up on the show. So I emailed them. They said, come in for audition. I said, cool. 24 hours the audition was. I was like, all right, I can prepare for that.
Yeah.
Then they hit me, can you do a Jamaican accent? I was like, sure. Then they was like, can you rap in Jamaican? I'm like, sure. I'm just telling them whatever they need to hear because I'll learn it. And I went to audition. I wrote something on the way there. Did it. They called me. I got the part. I was like, yes, right. And when I got the part, after it was all said and done, I'm like, having a little bit of like psychological evaluating. I'm like, did I get the part just because of who I am? And you know what I mean? Or like, did I really do my best? Like, I don't know. And then they called me back for another episode. And that's when I knew that I got the part because of my ability. Because if it's straight nepotism, if it's straight like, oh, that's so-and-so's, they don't bring you back. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a waste if you was whack, especially if you was whack. That's a waste of time, energy, effort. They count every dollar to the second on film sets. They don't got time to waste with doing favors for people like that, shit like that. At this level of a TV show with the budget that they had. So I knew it was because of my skill that they brought me back. So I'm in episode 3 and 9, and I was like, yes, thank you, God.
That's heck of a
Ooh, that was a long rant. Sorry.
No, that was a good story. For anybody that didn't know, he was talking about the Hulu joint. What's it called? It's called
Wu-Tang and American Saga.
Yeah. Is that still on? Is that
It's on Hulu. You can watch the whole first season right now. I'm in episodes 3 and 9. And season 2, I think they about to start filming once the governor pull the restrictions back, because the film industry has been real hit heavy. They trying to figure out, because now they got to pay they got to add all these thousands of dollars to their budgets for masks and PPE and COVID tests.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh man, we're looking forward to it, bro. So yeah, I'm looking forward to writing this piece. It's definitely gonna go deeper than just the one song now, than the We Here Now joint.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. So you know, we gotta ask the question that every interview asks. So what's next for the people?
So I got a single that I just dropped today out right now. If you want to go check it out, it's called "The Fat Kid." It's a picture of me when I was 250 pounds when I was 12. It's the song is fire. The picture is hilarious. And then, excuse me, later in the month, on the 22nd, my wife is dropping her first single of the year called "Poetry and Rhythm," that is featuring myself. It's fire. It's actually the first song me and her ever did together when we met 4 years ago. And then March, I got an EP dropping with the producer by the name of Agent Blur, like a Staten Island GOAT in production. We sampled all, we went Disney 80s, Disney 80s, Disney 80s in terms of samples. It's one of the greatest projects I've ever done. So we finishing that up now. That's going to be out in March.
Oh, time out. Hold up. Y'all sample Disney movies on the project.
Mm-hmm. Because I was born in 91.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? I grew up on certain VHSs that needed to be sampled.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. That's tough. Hey man, let's stay in touch, man. Me and Quiet is Kept, man. Me and Street Life got a track, man. We just haven't released yet.
Oh shit! Send me that. Oh, actually, no. I'll wait till it come out. But that's dope.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, stay in touch. Maybe we work on something in the future. We'll see what God has in store.
Facts. Let me know.
Yeah, and looking forward to writing this piece. Got any questions for me before we get off of here?
How long you been doing music?
Man, been doing music since I was like 7. I was heavy
Wow.
I was heavy in the opera from like 15 to 19.
You said opera?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's fire.
Yeah, but now R&B, soul. Yeah, I did a headline show at the Kennedy Center. Actually, one of my bandmates is in the chat somewhere. Moo. But I'll share some of my stuff with you, man, after this call.
Yes, please do. It's a honor talking to you.
No doubt, bro. All right, man. Stay blessed. I appreciate everybody that tuned in.
Yes, thank you all.
I'm gonna listen to the Hereditary joint right about the We Here Now piece, and we gonna get up. We gonna release this piece probably this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you again.
All right, peace, God.
Peace.
Yeah, that was dope. That was tough. That was iNTeLL. That's You God's son from the legendary Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah, maybe some future music on the way. From Imani, Wright, and second generation Wu or iNTeLL, we shall see. Writing a piece about their track, We Here Now. Got some great quotes. If you were here for the whole conversation, you know how productive it just was, honestly, to say the least. I learned a little bit myself. I'm gonna post this on my story in a little bit. Well, I should post this on my feed in a little bit, and I'll talk to y'all later. Imani, Wright, SwanoDown. I love you guys. Peace.